Right, good evening and welcome along to the Broadcasting Lounge. We're back for another Thursday night of GTE racing, and tonight we come to Watkins Glen in upstate New York, USA for round 9 of the Manon Racing Products GTE series. Joining me in the lounge tonight is Corey Kitchen. How's it going, Corey?
G'day, Shano. Yeah, I've missed 3 streams, and to be honest, it felt weird without my PC, but I've been saved. A damsel in distress I was, and my saviour, Shane Edgar, South Canterbury Removals, saved me with a new CPU, which has got me back running, but a few other issues. But we're here, Watkins Glen, a favourite of mine, Shano.
Yeah, favourite of a lot of people's as well, and it is very good to get you back. We might have to shout Shane a free weekly sponsorship for getting our regular commentator Corey Kitchen back in action.
I
What we've
reckon that's
got,
absolutely a great idea.
yeah, what we've got in store tonight. As I mentioned, round 9 at Watkins Glen. You can see the track layout on the right there. Plenty of undulation here. Very tricky turn 2, 3 and 4 complex up the hill where you should be able to hold it flat in these cars, but that's as long as you get the right line. And on lap 1, when they'll try and make their way through there while they're getting sorted out into single file, that's going to be a real challenge for everybody to get through and could be a real hot spot there on lap 1.
Wow, Hugo Allen to the top of the leaderboard with a 1:39.39. So in practice, you couldn't really separate Stefan and Hugo. Their times were fairly close, and he's come out on top here in qualifying so far.
Yeah, here goes reset to the pits, and that is just shy of 8 tenths of a second clear of Stefan, but Stefan is coming towards the end of a lap now. He's up on his personal best sector times, but not session best coming up on the timing screens at the moment. Comes to the line and does
Oh,
improve with a 39.67. Not enough to overcome Hugo Allen though. It looks like he's going to start from P2 as he toes back to the pits into the dying seconds of the session, and when that time runs out, that will be it. Oh, as we just pick up Blake Greenhill having a monster moment, and I think was that Kristen Jenkins it was, just having to take a base of action and go onto the grass a little bit, so that's probably affected his it. I don't think he will get to the line anyway. 10 seconds remaining, and when that time runs out, they will all be reset back to the pits almost immediately.
yes, and he just kablam, you disappear, and then it's gritting time. Gritting time on a Thursday night, round 9 action. The season is withering away, Shane.
It really is. We're getting so close to the end now, and we probably need to be having a meeting about our winter series soon. But what we can talk about right now is our grid for tonight. Hugo Allen on the pole alongside Stephen McCartan, Sean McNamara lining up third. He's got Aaron Goodrick alongside him on the second row. Nick Accordia and Leith Swinney make up the third row, with Wayne Hartnell and Jonathan Turner just in behind them. And then we can go back to Roger Forberg, Blake Greenhill, Phil Carpenter, James McKenzie, Dylan Radford, Heath Mann, Steve Darren, Grant Bristow, Kristen Jenkins, Alan Scott, Dan Turner, and Tom McCall will round out our grid for tonight.
Yeah, looks like 19, 20 cars, maybe, if Dan Turner looks like he has had some packet loss and has exited the building. But maybe he will come back, maybe not.
Yeah, hopefully he can get that sorted out. Obviously, having some connection issues there happens to the best of us at normally the worst of times. Looking at about 30 seconds before the safety car will lead them away for a short formation lap. They're starting down in the boot section, just on the way out of the boot section actually.
It was heat racing tonight, Shano, wasn't there? So 15-minute race, and then we'll have an inverted top 10 and a 25-minute race, and they'll need to get a bit of fuel to get themselves home.
Yeah, that's right. They should be good for fuel in this first one, but as you say, they will need some fuel in the second one, where they're going to have that reverse top 10 grid as well. Getting ready to move away from the dummy grid now. And the safety car pulls away and the leaders follow.
A bit of a mix up there. Before
Yeah, you got to see 5 different manufacturers in the top 5.
Yeah, that's definitely
And we are getting ready to go. Pace car pulls away.
Green, 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 green.
And we get the green flag, and Hugo Owen leads them away down towards turn 1. Turn 1, he's managed to get the jump.
straight through there. Turn 1.
Yeah, looks like everybody managing to keep it out of the tyres. They've all made it through into the S's. They're going to look to settle themselves down now as they all head down into the bus stop for the first time.
Steve Garrett, I'm going to say that was definitely equipment failure of some sort there for Steve Garrett to somebody else has come along the pits as well, Alex Scott.
Hugo Allen leading them into the tow. They've got an attempted pass going on. Didn't quite pick up who was involved in that.
Antonio's managed to make his way back in and just coming out of pit lane, so it's going to come out a lap down almost. No, he's going to get out. Well, it's good. It's on the lead lap at this stage. No, he has not.
Yeah, just a comment from BJ. You are coming across a little bit quiet on my end as well, Corey. I can turn you up in my mixer, but I wonder if there's something you can go on your end to make yourself louder.
Alright, well, maybe it's because it's not really close enough to the line. The system issues continue.
That sounds a little bit better on my end now. Okay. Well, I will. Actually, what I should be able to do is.
Talk some crap for a minute and play with it. So yeah, we're on Hugo Allen. He's still got a bit of a lead. And Stefan McCartan hot on his tail. Sean McNamara just existing there in third place. And we've just seen another one of the 4 GTs has gone around. Dylan Radford has gone around as well. So there's a few cars in pit lane after some lap 1 issues as well.
So what I'm seeing on the mixer seems to be registering your voice high enough. I have tried turning the car noises down a touch as well, and there we go, BJ commenting that that's better now. So there we go.
Better. Thank you, BJ. Sad that you missed it. Perth traffic sucks.
So Hugo Allen has so far managed to control this race from the front. almost stretching out to a 1 second lead over Stephen McCartan, sitting back there. Seems to be hovering between 7 to 9 tenths behind, picking up a bit of a draft up the hill though and closing in. Aaron Goodrick pressuring Sean McNamara into the bus stop. Sean getting a good run through there though. Oh. Aaron catching the grass on the way into the boot section. Looked like he had a bit of a wiggle as he did that. Just managed to hold it together.
We could definitely see the guy on Twitch that's not the bot. Yes, we can see your comments.
This does appear to be the closest battle on track at the moment as well. Aaron Goodrick in P4 trying to challenge Sean McNamara for what would be the final podium spot, but still very early on in the race to be talking about podiums. Riding on the roof.
That podium though, that podium race 1, that puts you at the back of the grid for race 2. So yeah, Bill Carpenter currently on the cusp, that 10th spot that gets you pole position for race 2.
So Aaron able to close up in the draft, but not quite able to get close enough. Not an easy spot to go for a pass at the bus stop. This boot section now is the place where you can start to think about setting something up. Down into the toe now, and if we can get a good exit off the pier, get a run down the straight and a bit of draft, you might be able to think about trying something into the heel.
Yeah, make a bit of a move.
Been able to stick pretty close, but wasn't quite able to make a move there.
Definitely a fairly fast little bit of the circuit, this too. The sort of last 3 or 4 corners just laid out.
It's a very high-speed circuit. The cup layout especially. Oh, there's smoke ahead. That was Hugo Allen.
Yeah,
and he's actually towed back to the pits. So our race leader, sorry, I should have got more excited about that. Race leader Hugo Allen spins out. And now Stephen McCartan spins out. Aaron Goodrick goes to the lead. So suddenly, and we missed the pass there as well. So suddenly this has become the battle for the lead, and Aaron was able to get past Sean McNamara, but Sean challenging into the bus stop. So in the space of about 30 seconds, it's all gone off.
Debris on the circuit, maybe? Bit of oil, something's thrown a rock. Wow.
And
Did
now
not expect that.
Sean's had a moment in the bus stop, and now he's taking pressure from Nico Cordia, and Nico gets down the inside. Our guest commentator from Tuesday night moves up into P2.
Oh yeah, the big guns stepping in to help out in time of day. How was your first race back, Shane?
Oh, it was great. Absolutely awesome. Wow, actually. I say that, but pulled the pin about halfway through after I had a couple of moments, and big one just after I took my pit stop on lap 10, smashed it into the wall, coming on to the banking there at Daytona.
Yeah, what a place to make your comeback after quite a few months sitting on the sidelines. And yeah, getting back on the horse, as they say. But good job, you did it, you got back on the horse.
I did, and now next week I have to go straight into enduro mode.
Oh, of course. Yeah, top 10 shootout on Monday night.
Yeah, I don't think I need to worry about how I'm going to attack the top 10 shootout. I don't think I'm going to be in that.
I was thinking how I was going to manage that.
So,
So I'm helping out with the last round of the E Cup. That's this Monday coming.
yeah, so that's going to be a bit of a clash there. Hopefully it can be sorted for streamers and commentators. I mean, like I say, I doubt I'm going to be in the shootout, so I'll probably be able to jump in and commentate, but hopefully we've got someone who can actually run the stream. We'll have to sort that out over the coming weekend. What we also need to do is go back and unpick exactly what went on in that chaotic 30 seconds. So this is Hugo Allen into the final corner. The rear just steps out. Oh, and he actually... Oh, so Stefan actually picked up damage getting caught up in that. That was brutal.
Yeah, that's extremely unfortunate.
So let's see if we can pick up another angle of that. Maybe a bit of a slow-mo. So Hugo Allen.
Just done the old
So,
Porsche flick here, isn't it?
yeah, also it's actually stepping out on the way in. He's tried to hold the drift, but it just goes on him. And then so quickly you're into the safer barrier on the outside there, and he just comes back across and just catches that left rear wheel of Stefan. He clips the wall, and then we're going to see him head and look at the toe out on that left rear, and it's no wonder he went around as soon as he got into turn one. Trying to keep some pace up on it. I think he knows he's got damage. He's trying to limp back to the pits, but trying to get around as quickly as he can, and the avoidance. So was that Sean avoiding in the background? I think it might have been. Yeah, so this is how Aaron got past Sean. Sean has to take evasive action. Goes left. Great job avoiding, but unfortunately going so far off the track that it opened the door for Aaron Goodrick to walk on through.
Yeah, walk on through he did. And still holding that lead. Sean has shot back down to third, but he is on the back of Nico Cordier at the moment.
Yeah, he
Wing
is.
mirror pressure.
So the way things panned out for Sean, unfortunately, with the two leaders dropping out and could have enabled him to walk into the race lead, unfortunately it just hasn't quite panned out well for him and lost out to the next couple of people behind as he goes very wide at turn one. And yeah, just put him back into the position he was already defending from Aaron Goodrick P3, but at least he hasn't got so much pressure on him for P3, and he is putting the pressure on Nico Cordier now for P2, and Nico defends down into the bus stop. Sean having to slot in behind on this occasion.
Yeah, that's Aaron just up in front of them too, so he's at 1.8 seconds in front, which isn't long. One mistake round here, and they're going to be back in the game. But how often have you seen Sean McNamara come third?
Well, he's kind of making a habit of it, isn't he?
Yeah, it's not even the bridesmaid. He's like the second bridesmaid that really, no one really worries about.
Yeah, I mean, good consistency at least, but he must be hungry to take those next couple of steps up the podium.
He's definitely enjoyed racing these cars this season, hasn't he? The big plough.
He's done well. Have a look at some of the other battles that are going on through the field. Not so tight, but we have been very much focused on the pointy end this evening because there's been plenty of action there. Jonathan Turner is just under a second behind Phil Carpenter, looking to see if he can close that gap up a bit more, but just Looks like Phil's just stretching it out a little bit at the moment. We've also got Wayne Hartnell and Blake Greenhill within a second of each other for P5 and P6.
It's just looking down the field there, so it looks like Christian Jenkins, he's our biggest mover, up 6 spots in the P11. And a couple of guys up 4 spots. We just mentioned them, and well, actually in 6th and 7th, Larky and Bill Carpenter.
Yeah, those guys doing a good job. Interestingly, a few guys off the lead lap for what is quite a short race. So Keith Manon, Grant Bristow, Dan Turner, Steve Darren, Alan Scott, potentially those guys running into issues in this race, putting them off the lead lap. Credit to Stephen McCartan, who has come back out after getting tangled up with Hugo Allen there.
Yeah, just managing to stay unlapped at the moment.
And we're about to see the checkered flag. It looks like Nico Cordia is going to be able to hold on to P2. Aaron Goodrick coming through the final corner now. He's done a good job to take advantage of the leaders crashing out in front of him and takes the win. Nico Cordia, P2, Sean McNamara, another podium there in P3. Lee Swinney bringing it home in 4th, Wayne Hartnell 5th, Blake Greenhill 6th, Phil Carpenter 7th, Jonathan Turner 8th, James McKenzie 9th, Roger Forbert will take the reverse grid pole for race 2, finishing this one in 10th. Christian Jenkins just missing out on that in 11th. Dylan Radford still on the final lap currently in that Ford GT, making his way around. He's currently running in P12. He should be able to hold on to that by the time he gets to the line. That's not too far away for him now. Comes into the final corner now and coming around and takes P12. Stephen McCartan looking to wrap up P13. Lap car just ahead of him is Dan Turner. He's going to come home in 16th. Keith Martin, Grant Bristow, P14 and P15. They've already come home a lap down. Dan Turner makes it P16. Stephen McCartan does come home in 13th. Steve Darren a lap down in 17th, as was Alan Scott. Hugo Allen not coming back out after that crash there, and Tom McCall unfortunately not able to get reconnected after packet loss at the start. So that was a very exciting first race. Plenty of action, all unfolding within the space of a few seconds um, as Hugo Allen crashed at the final corner there and Stephen McCartan got caught up in that before then spinning at the first corner as a result of that damage.
Yeah, it might be a good time to shout out the weekly sponsor, Shano, speedtech.com. So, racetrack communications is what they're into, and they were at Taupo this year for the V8s. They looked after all the communications for the track with all their digital radio, which has up to 10 kilometres worth of coverage, with the analogue ones they get around 2 kilometres. So a bit of a difference there, but their analogue radios can reach all tracks in New Zealand. Basically, most of them they get 100% track coverage because not big tracks, but 90% of the work they do is with the speedway side of things. And there they get those little radios and they put them in the pocket, and obviously with an earpiece underneath the helmet, communication with the pits while they're racing, also with race control and stuff like that. You know, being able to tell the stewards to put out their flags and stuff. So, yeah, mostly motorsport stuff is what he deals with. So speedtech.com, that's Alan, our weekly sponsor. Thank you very much for jumping on board and giving it a good old go, my friend.
Yeah, very cool. Awesome behind the scenes work that he does there. Just to clarify, he wasn't involved with timing systems at Taupo, right?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think anybody would want to claim that at this point, would they?
No, I don't think so. No, definitely not. No problems with the timing system here.
Absolutely not.
But I can confirm, after just one race, my timing didn't get all stuttery and everything was smooth. So that was a first for me for quite some time with a very tired CPU that decided to give up on me.
Yeah, that's awesome that you're getting much more reliable data there.
Yeah, it was getting a little bit old. Of course, MRP, Shano. Have we got any ads? Got an ad you can play? Got an MRP ad? Something different? We've got a couple of minutes here.
We have, but I'm gonna give you this first because I know. I mean, we've talked about this message on the front, but I know how much you get behind this message on the front of the Team West car here.
Oh, the wires, of course, yes. Yeah, that winning streak though. Oh yes, best we've done for quite some time this time of year. But tough game on Sunday against the Raiders. That will be, yeah, it's a tough one, especially without a couple of our good forwards. Mitch Barnett, obviously playing for the greatest state of origin team, New South Wales, and yeah, James Fisher-Harris out for what really shouldn't have been 1 week out. But anyway, that's the NRL judiciary system for you, and I can say whatever I want. You muppets. Up the wires though, Shane. Up the wires. Thanks for bringing that up.
Absolutely, up the wires. And I think we should have just enough time to play a quick MRP ad. So that's MRP, our Raceweek sponsor. Quick look at one of their turnkey rigs that they've got available. And if you haven't got a sim, you're interested in getting into it, get a sim. Go and talk to Barry at MRP and he can get you sorted out with everything you need. We are just about ready to roll in the feature race. Got time to quickly roll through the grid, and it's going to be Roger Forbert taking pole with the reverse top 10 on the grid for this one. James McKenzie alongside him there. Jonathan Turner and Phil Carpenter make up the second row. Blake Greenhall and Wayne Hartnell on the third row in behind, and then Leith Swinney and Sean McNamara on the fourth row. Then we go back to Nico Cordia, Aaron Goodrick, race winner from the first race, coming home in P10. Then we go Kristen Jenkins, Dylan Radford, Stephen McCartan after that crash in race 1. He starts 13th. Heath Mahone 14th, then Grant Bristow and Dan Turner. And then Steve Darren, Alan Scott and Hugo Allen, because I think Thomas Pacole is no longer with us. Looks like Hugo Allen is going to take the grid on this one, so while he didn't finish out race 1, looks like he is going to carry on and do race 2, which is good to see.
Yeah, the back of the grid challenge, always a bit of fun, especially for a very seasoned sim racer like Hugo.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're rolling away behind the pace car. You can see that sun getting very low in the sky, so we are heading into sunset, and this is going to be very challenging conditions for the guys. Sun getting low in the sky. iRacing does simulate sunstrike. There are things you can do with settings to mitigate that, but whether anybody's had the presence of mind to change their settings based on the sun dropping in the sky is another question. But we are underway and heading down to turn 1, and it's going to be Roger Forbert leading them into 1. Got a 3 wide in the mid-pack there. I think someone went around.
Yeah, Phil Carpenter, there's a couple of cars up in the side there, so a few cars involved there.
And they're still sorting themselves out all the way through the S's. Coming down into the bus stop now. Oh, that's such a cool shot.
Straight through.
Oh! Someone clipped the wall there. I'm not quite sure who that was. It looked like it might have been a jigsaw car. Oh, that is Grant Bristow and the white Corvette with damage. So I wonder if that was Grant that clipped the wall on the way into the bus stop there.
It all happened so fast. Someone went straight through the bus stop as well.
That pack's still sorting themselves out. They're coming out of the boot section now. Stephen McCartan has already made his way up to P3. Having to defend from Blake Greenhall on the last couple of corners though.
Just coming up to 7:53 PM local time here in Sims, so looking at sun, that's going to be quite dark by the end of this race, but it looks a bit already now.
Yeah, I believe it should be scheduled to finish right on sunset, as that's Blake Greenhall, Aaron Goodrich. Oh, track is jammed, the track is jammed. Oh, heavy damage, Blake Greenhall. Dan Turner just getting going again now, and we do have a yellow flag. I think one of the admin in the race server has chucked that one out to...
Me.
Oh, you've done that? Fair enough.
Yeah, anytime there's a big crash like that, something we'll just do it.
Yeah.
It's early enough in the race to, yeah.
Well, that definitely warranted a yellow because that was massive. Gives us an opportunity to settle it all down, and we can go back through some of the data. We'll certainly pick up that incident, but we'll just have a look at what we can pick up from the start as well. So so there's a check up there in the mid-pack. Aaron Goodrich going down the middle. There's some 4 wide.
Yeah.
Oh, and actually, it was... I was trying to pick up who that was in the Lego car.
That's Phil Carpenter.
Phil Carpenter, okay. We'll play that through again from Phil Carpenter's perspective. So I think he actually didn't have any contact down there, he just dropped it by himself. So there was 4 wide going on there, but they survived that. Did look very close to, I think it was Aaron on that shot, but I don't think there was contact. There was somebody else facing the wrong way in the background there. Tom McCall did jump to the pits, so we might be able to... Oh, that's strange. So that shows him after he's already jumped to the pits, so that might be more of a connection issue. Heath Man, this might... Yeah, this was the other car that went around Heath Man, so... Sorry, Heath Mark. Oh, so he just got caught up in the chaos there, as everybody was jostling around, avoiding things. And then this was the big one, so Blake Greenhill involved. Oh, touch there, and then he's just had the tank slapper right into the side of Aaron Goodrick and a massive impact. Oh, Jigsaw car coming in hot there, that was Steve Darren in the 62. Just no time to react to that, I reckon. Give me a moment on this and I can set it up.
Yeah, a few cars had to tow.
So this is from Steve Darren's roof heading into that incident, and from the roof we've got a good view of it, but he's just arrived on the scene and he would have had no view of just how badly blocked the track was until he arrived on the scene there. So we are going around behind the pace car, sun continuing to set into the sky.
Yeah, losing laps behind the safety car, but that's right. I'd say there'd be one more to go after this one. Looks like a few cars coming down the pit lane now.
Yeah, so the strategy call that we've seen when we've had safety cars in the past is, do you take the opportunity to pit under the safety car, or do you use the laps under the safety car to try and save enough fuel to get to the end without stopping? It is a timed race, so the lap count will be reduced because of this time going around more slowly as well. Just a quick splash for Stefan though, and straight back out. Actually, I think that was Steve Darren coming out in front. So it looked like somebody had managed to jump Stefan, but Steve's actually just completed his tow and comes out a lap down, unfortunately. I think we can probably, if you're in a position to do it, Corey, you can probably give Steve, Aaron and Blake a wave around.
I think the lights will be going out on the safety car. The lights are out, so it'll be going green this lap. Are they behind the safety car?
Let's see, we've got Steve certainly in the queue. Aaron and Blake just coming onto the back of the queue now, so they've got half a lap to make a gap on the field.
Who is it, Aaron?
Steve, Aaron and Blake. Oh no! Oh, Steve and Aaron trying to take their wave arounds and they've just come together, unfortunately. Not quite sure what happened there. I think Steve maybe tried to go and Aaron possibly reacting to somebody that might not quite have been leaving a gap for him to get by, and they just made contact.
A little bit unfortunate, but should be green this lap. So Blake got in front.
Yeah, lights are out on the pace car, so it looks like we're restarting. It's a very pretty sunset here in upstate New York, but it's not making it that easy to see the liveries on the cars in some of the shots.
No, lighting is disintegrating.
So the pace car should be about to peel off, and then we'll be good to go again. Late dive into pit lane, and Roger Forbert gets control.
Green, 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 green.
Sean McNamara keen to go, and he's got alongside Jonathan Turner on the restart, but he's going to be on the wrong side of the track when they get down to turn one. Manages to hang around the outside though. Can he keep it going into the S's? Just has to slot in behind there, but he'll pick up the draft on the straight down towards the bus stop.
There's a lot going on.
I do love that wall shot at the bus stop when everybody's bunched up. Such a cool shot.
Something's happened at the bus stop for Heathrow. And he's slowed right down.
Yeah, so he's showing as having gone off track. Lost a few positions as well by look at that, so we can have a quick look back. Oh, just took the wrong amount of curb there. I'm not going to say too much because the perfect line is actually to almost hit that wall, but if you don't quite get across there, the curb can unsettle the right hand side of the car a bit much and do what it's done to Heath there.
Yeah, throw him around like a rag doll and a little bit of a scoot through the grass.
Team West cars involved in tight battles as always. Christian Jenkins and Dan Turner with Hugo Allen just in front of them.
Yeah, up 9 spots, Hugo, up into P10. So he's running hot at the moment. Not the fastest car out on track though, because he's got a few cars to pass, I guess.
You know who has done the fastest lap of the race on the last lap is Blake Greenhill. He's got the bit between the teeth after getting the wave around and absolutely pushing on with a 142.21 on the previous lap, which is the best lap of the race so far.
Hammer down for Larky.
Oh, look at this. Sean McNamara and JT going side by side. Stephen McCartan sniffing around in the background and manages to get alongside Sean now. And under brakes, he stays alongside Sean, holds on the outside there though. He's going to get the inside into this one. And Sean holds on to P3 for now at least. Oh, Stefan catches the wall on the exit of the final corner. That hurts the momentum. Nico Cordia gets the run now alongside Stefan McCartan down the inside into turn one. There's a touch. Oh, he tries to straighten him up, but Stefan out into the runoff area there.
Slow down for Blake Greenhill currently. And Aaron Goodrick on a black flag. It'll be for incidents, I believe. See who's coming down the lane at the moment.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Aaron, getting over that incident limit. Sean McNamara continuing to pile the pressure on JT at the moment. Roger Forbert taking advantage and putting just a little bit of a gap on JT. Still within that second though. If these cars had DRS, JT would be within the DRS zone.
Dylan Radford has had an incident. He has got a meatball flag out.
Oh yeah, so he's limping around and that front right is not pointing where he needs it.
Oh, and Daniel Turner, he has come a cropper as well. Sean McNamara is slipping down the list, so something's happened to him as well.
Yes, so all action again in a short space of time.
Oh, yes, heavy damage on Dan Turner's car, so he is going to be limping at home. Absolutely no movement from the front right wheel.
Oh. Alright, so we'll see if we can pick up those three incidents. So Dylan Radford going off track at the bus stop. Oh, had the fishtail going on for a long time, couldn't quite gather it up, ended up in the Armco down there at the sweeper. Sean McNamara here coming out of the boot section. Oh, just lost the rear. Managed to keep it off the wall though, but having to take a super careful re-entry there, making sure he didn't get into anybody's way. Did a good job, but lost a bunch of positions unfortunately. And Dan Turner, this is going to be the big one. Oh, that was an odd one. Did he just catch? Did he just catch his teammate maybe?
Yeah, that BMW took heavy damage. It's an odd one, isn't it?
Yes, I'm not quite sure. We might need to go on board with that one to see exactly what happened there. I think just trying to avoid running into the back of his teammate, got his braking wrong, and yeah, just taking evasive action, turned to the right quite aggressively and just lost the rear unfortunately. So he sacrificed himself to not take out his teammate on that one.
Definitely unlucky. Back out live racing. A bad second race for Lee Squiddy. Sitting there at P6 at the moment, up one spot. Wayne Hartnell, Team West there coming up behind. A little bit slower over the last lap, Wayne was compared to Leith, so I think we're just trying to keep him in the mirror at the moment. Wayne.
Yes, I think probably a steady, nice steady race is the best way to describe Leith's second race here tonight. Obviously started P7 on account of finishing P4 in the first race and hasn't made a lot of movement, but he's kept me out of trouble. Stayed within that top 10 on a night where some of those guys that did do well, some of those other guys that did do well on the first race have come a cropper in this one trying to move up.
Hugo Allen, he has moved his way up though, up 16 spots, and he is up into P3 now. The two cars in front, well, actually just past one of them, hasn't stopped. Oh. And our leader, Roger Forbert, also hasn't stopped. Oh, pretty wide, that's not possible through the bus stop.
Stephen McCartan has just picked up Nico Cordia. Moving up into P4 now, so he's charging forward through the field again after that earlier contact.
There's only a handful of cars that haven't made a pit stop. So Roger Corbett leading, Jonathan Turner there in third, then it drops down to Heath Manon and Sean McNamara, as well as Alan Scott. But he hasn't come down the lane to take the fuel yet either.
Yeah, just coming down to 5 minutes remaining as well, so those guys that haven't stopped will be frantically looking at their fuel page on their black box and trying to work out how many more laps they're going to do, and trying to work out if they've got enough fuel to do that. They'll be frantically calculating while they're trying to drive as Stephen McCartan pulls out and goes to the move on Jonathan Turner and moves on to the podium. P3 now.
That first race tonight probably would have been the first race we've seen this season where we haven't seen the Ford GT in the top 10. The stats incredible,
Yeah, that's right. Stefan was outside of the top 10 and he's been very strong all the way through this season, but due to that incident with Hugo Allen, put him out of the top 10.
Yeah, good resilience though, going out there and keeping on rolling.
Yeah, making sure he gets some points, doesn't want to have a zero score that will cost him in the championship.
He has got a handy lead. He's sitting on 110 points. Oh, sorry, not even 110. 1,110 points for Stefan, at least 20 and second on 947. Sean McNamara on 937. Wayne Hartnell on 936. Aaron Goodrick on 934. Jonathan Turner on 916. So really tight around that top half of that top 10 for the points. As we see the rest of the cars rolling through pit lane here. Roger Fulbert out of the lead for Misfits Racing.
Yeah, so the maths hasn't worked out for the guys that didn't pit under yellow. Unfortunately, they've had to come in and take a stop now, and with the field still quite bunched up, that's hurt them quite badly in the end, unfortunately, but moves Hugo Allen up into the lead. Great recovery in race 2 after starting off the back. And Stephen McCartan moves into P2. He will be looking to see if he can close that gap that Hugo's got on him, sitting at 1.3 seconds at the moment, and Stefan will want to try and challenge for the lead in the late stages, but there's not long to go now. Just coming down to 2 minutes remaining.
Yeah, doesn't it go by fast?
It really does, and I do love these short races. Plenty of action, and just when you think it's all starting to settle down, you're almost finished.
I don't think he's fuel saving, Chris. His last lap was a 140, almost a 141, not far off it, so a little bit faster than Stefan. He was a 141.16.
So this should be the final lap, just under a minute and a half remaining as they come across the line, and as you mentioned, their 140s are the times that they're doing on track at the moment, so looks like this should be the last one.
Yeah, Stefan's slightly quicker than Hugo that last lap round. Wayne Hartnell, Phil Carpenter. At least 20's the other one there, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think there's lap traffic involved in that, because I was thinking that didn't look like Phil's Lego car that we saw earlier. But yeah, so Wayne and Leaf, and there was a lap car that's just dropped off the back of them, they made their way around, but certainly Wayne and Leaf having a tight battle here.
Yeah, make that one more spot up, but obviously very tight there at the top end of that top 10 for the championship. Leaf sitting in second spot, which is a sign of consistency, I guess, for Leaf. You know, not winning races, but he's there or thereabouts.
Yeah, all about racking up points, taking the points that are on offer, and yeah, like you say, getting those good, consistent finishes. Hugo Allen coming to the line now. He is going to take the race one. Does a good job to wrap that one up. Stephen McCartan finishes in P2, so good recovery from those guys who came together in race one. Nico Cordia claims another podium there in third. Leith Swinney comes home fourth. Wayne Hartnell fifth. Phil Carpenter sixth. Kristen Jenkins seventh. Roger Forbert eighth. Jonathan Turner up the wires, coming around the final corner now in ninth.
Up the wires.
James McKenzie rounds out the top 10. Good result for him to get into the 10. Sean McNamara just missing out in 11th after having to take that late stop. Heath Mann 12th. Grant Bristow had to be invited to the league tonight, so his first GTE race comes home in 13th. Dan Turner still coming around the last few corners now, but as the last car on the lead lap, his P14 should be nailed on as long as he makes it to the line. And coming down to the line now to take that P14, Blake Greenhill, Dylan Radford, Alan Scott, Tom McCall all finishing off the lead lap. Looks like Aaron Goodrick and Steve Darren failing to finish in that one. So Tom McCall having those connection issues, not taking the start in race one, but actually did join us for the second race, so that's good to see. Jonathan Turner killing the Michelins on the rear of that Porsche.
Yeah, don't need them anymore.
You can always rely on the Team West boys to put up a good skid, can't you?
Yes, but well, typical Westy fashion, tyres are you just chew them out. Chew them out. Get rid of them. Get out of here.
And now they're having a skid battle, seeing who can push the other while they're skidding. Oh, looks like the Porsche briefly was pushing back a little bit. Oh, and Dan's giving up the ghost. JT pushes through. How there's any rubber left on those rear tyres, I don't know.
Oh, we could just say that that's iRacing for you. Thanks, iRacing, for the service that you provide us.
Absolutely. Big thanks to iRacing. We absolutely love the platform to be able to go racing every night. And we've got Nico Cordia in the waiting room now, so we can bring him into the lounge from guest commentator on the V8s on Tuesday night to back on the podium in GTEs. Nico Cordia, well done, mate.
Oh, thanks, boys. Thank you. Appreciate that. That was a hard one, man. There was a lot of action in that one.
Well, there was a lot of action in both of them. You took
Yeah.
advantage in race one to pick up a podium after, in fact, even a P2 after Hugo and Stefan came together, and then you fought your way through in the second one to claim another podium.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked with race one. Look, it's very unfortunate for Hugo and Stefan to make contact there on the final corner. I don't know what happened. Obviously, I just saw Hugo facing the wrong way, and then Stefan spinning out on turn one. So I'll take it. It's a podium. It's P2. Really struggled last night in practice, and started to get to grips with the track here in practice, and then race one it just started to come together. So I'm pretty stoked with the result for the race. I'm honestly going to go back and have a look what happened between me and Stefan in turn one. Don't know. So we'll have a look. I was going to give the position back nonetheless, and then find him for it, and then coming up on the last one on my best lap. Unfortunate portion in the way. But yeah, still super stoked of the round. B2, B3.
Yeah, we did catch that moment with Stefan. We didn't look at it in too much detail, but my first impressions were that I think your front wheels were up to his rear wheels, and that's the standard that Sean has set for contact of that sort. So I think you were probably okay there, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I was up long enough, but oh no, it's netcode. It's netcode. I'm having a look.
Ah,
Oh yeah, no, I'm not even touching him. I'm not even, I'm next to him, but I'm not touching. It's netcode.
yeah, that's super unfortunate. Always sad when netcode ruins a good battle. So
Yeah, I was really looking forward to that. It was I had a good run out of the final corner, and Stefan clipped the wall, so I had a good run coming down the main straight into turn one, and yeah, I was just looking forward to following him through, and having a bit of a battle and chasing down the back ahead.
yeah, well, you did a fine job anyway, and he did a good job to recover and get up to P2. So I guess all good in the end. You took the pit stop under yellow. There were a few that didn't, and it didn't work out. Were you considering staying out, or was it just always come in at that point?
Well, I saw the yellow go, and I immediately went into pit strategy mode and looked at the relative, saw how much time was left, quickly calculated if I needed, if I'll make it home with the fuel, and I crossed the line with zero point 0.4 of a liter left, so I just made it home. Um, Not gonna lie, I did fuel save a couple of times on going into the bus stop. Um, but yeah, other than that, it was full send.
Yeah, certainly it was relatively close for the guys that didn't stop. I think they were only a couple of laps shy of getting to the end, but obviously you had it worked out and you got in. As you say, you went full send to the end and managed to pick up a podium. So you want to shout out any sponsors tonight?
Oh yeah, just the boys at Gamma Flare, Sim Racing, and all the sponsors on board with us, and yeah, just about that. And thanks to obviously the round sponsor for tonight, and MRP, and you boys up in the lounge.
Oh, Wayne's put you to good training and it's paying off already, isn't it? You've done my job for me basically. All right, well thanks Nico and congratulations again on P3.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thanks, Shane. Thanks, Corey.
No worries, no worries. And don't run away if you want to hang around. Next week, round 10 obviously is not for a couple of weeks, but we're round 2 of the MRX Enduro from Interlagos. That should be fun. Top 10 shootout on Monday, and then the race on Tuesday. That should be pretty awesome. And we're off to Laguna Seca for GTE next week. That is an awesome track in these cars for sure.
Yeah, and I need to load up the rest of the Wednesday night practice races for the rest of the season as well. I noticed the other day that there's no more Wednesday night races loaded from here on out, which I know I haven't quite got them all loaded, so I need to get onto that this weekend. But yeah, that'll be very exciting to head to Laguna Seca, and I'm looking forward to, well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to endurance racing in the V8s on Tuesday. We'll see how it goes. I'm sure I'll be fine. I'm not going to make the top 10 shootout as much as I'd love to experience that, but
Wow, yeah, that's right. But yeah, it is the season for endurance racing, isn't it? So there's also the MRP endurance race, which will be coming up as well at Road America, Shano, as well as the Enduro for Men's Health this year, which we've teamed up with uh, Men's Health Week 2025. Been in contact talking with Mark Sainsbury, the walrus himself, and great guy, and doing a great job of propping up the Men's Health Week for the last couple of years, and getting some celebrities involved in that as well, which partnering up with them has given us opportunity to get in their area and potentially get them involved in racing this year too. So 14th of June, that's not far away. It's only a few weeks, isn't it? Oh shit.
yeah, and the MRP endurance that you mentioned there is only 2 weeks away tonight, so we need to get our A's into G and get that all tied away and get an entry form out and get that up and running. Big thanks to Speed Tech, our weekly sponsor this week. Thank you for your support there, and MRP, our ongoing sponsor of the Manon Racing Products GTE series. Go to mrpsimracing.co.nz to check out their full range there. And thanks, of course, to all the drivers for coming along and putting on a show, and thanks to iRacing for the platform. Thanks to you, Corey, for joining me in the lounge tonight.
Absolutely no worries as I run back from checking my nuggets, which are just about ready for me, and I am hungry.
Alright, well, we better let you go and have a feed then. Thanks again to everybody for tuning in at home tonight, and we will see you all next time. And I'm going to leave you with a look at MRP's motion sim.